Hi, my name is Andy Rasman. This is a series looking at the miracles that John records for us of Jesus and his gospel. We are on the fifth of seven miracles that John records for us. He refers to these miracles as signs in his biography of Jesus. So the fifth one is found in John chapter 6, starts verse 16, goes to verse 24. I encourage you to take your Bible out and read that. You can compare this with the other Gospels that record this miracle. Matthew has it in chapter 14, and Mark has it in chapter 6. So that's something you can check out. This is a miracle where Jesus walks on water. Quite a miracle. He is demonstrating that he has complete and total power over nature. Nature and the laws of nature cannot hold him back, cannot go against him. The disciples are in a storm or a very strong headwind, according to John, and they're in the middle of the lake crossing to the other side. Matthew tells us a little bit more details that Jesus, it's either Matthew or Mark, they tell us that Jesus actually tells the disciples to go to the other side. When you read John, the disciples, it's not told that they were told by Jesus to go to the other side, but pretty interesting. Either way, they go without Jesus. Jesus is by himself. It's late at night. He looks out. He sees their boat in the middle of the shore. Or the middle of the lake. He sees that they're struggling. I guess I'm going to walk out there and help them. It's pretty impressive. When he gets there, John's gospel says immediately when he was in the boat reached the shore where they were heading. So they were struggling for a very long time, and then suddenly, no more struggle. We're on the other side. I think it's an interesting application for us. Jesus knows exactly where we are. Sometimes maybe he even sends us there, like the one gospel writer records that Jesus told them to go to their side, and they're in the storm, and it's late at night, and they're struggling, and they're tired, and he sees this. He goes to them, and when he goes to them, immediately their problems are solved. So I believe that can be us a lot of times in life. Jesus may lead us somewhere, tell us to go somewhere, and it can be quite a struggle. And we can begin to doubt if we heard God correctly or if we were following correctly. Because if Jesus had sent us here, wouldn't it be a lot easier? I know a pastor that took a call from a church he was the pastor at in California to Texas, and almost immediately once he gets to Texas, all these problems happen to his family. There's a flood, the church gets flooded, his house gets flooded. I think even sometime after his house burned down, something else happened. So it was just like thing after thing after thing. I think there was even some health issues. So he was just like, wow, you called me from this place, even though it's California, and you know, California, it can be a dump. It can be a dumpster fire. It cannot be a nice place to live at all. We know the policies there are very just against life. But he was doing well there, right? And he was loved there by his congregants, and he feels led by God to go to Texas to this other church. And then when all this stuff happens, you know, that's the prosperity gospel type mentality in us, that if God is with us, everything's going to be great. And what we see here, that's not the case. And he could have even solved their problem immediately, but he walks out to them. I mean, how long did it take him to walk out 3.5 miles, as John says they were in the middle of this lake? Did he actually go? Did it take him that whole time to walk there? Was it an hour and a half walk for him? I don't know. But you can see though that there are times where Jesus could tell us to go somewhere, and it's going to be a struggle, and it may seem as if he's not there with us, but he's watching over us, and he knows what we're going through, and he brings deliverance right when we need it. And so I think that's something we can get from this. What we do see is that when the morning comes and the crowds see that, hey, the boat's on the other side, you know, crowds begin to book it around the lake by the shore to try to meet them on the other side, to be there. And it even says that the next day, you know, more boats had landed. Look, and when they saw Jesus had, so even some people were like taking boats to get there. When they get there where this miracle of feeding 5,000 occurred, they see that Jesus isn't even there anymore. So then they're like, this is, to me, this is just kind of like Jesus was loved and people wanted him. He met their needs, and he could do he could solve the problems that they had that only he could solve. And they knew this. And it was out of great desperation that people go to great lengths to be with Jesus. And that's because he truly is God. He created all. He holds all things together in his hands. And what we see is that he is for us. He's not against us. All the Gospels record this. When he's coming to them, they actually get terrified. Because what is that coming to me? It's the Son of God. When God comes to you, even that can be terrifying. Because this is literally the voice of God. This is like when Peter encounters Jesus for that time with the miraculous catch of fish when he's called to be a disciple. His response when the miraculous catch of fish comes in and even starts to sink his boat, his company boat, his business boat, is, Lord, get away from me, for I'm a sinful man. When the Lord comes to us in his presence, it's like Isaiah seeing the Lord in the temple. Woe is me, I am undone, I am dead, because I have unclean lips, right? Like when we are in the presence of holy God, our sinfulness is all the more magnified and we're terrified. Now, one of the gospel writers here refers to seeing Jesus walking on water. They thought they saw a ghost, and that could be why they were terrified. But either way, they're terrified. And Jesus speaks this word of comfort. Don't be afraid. It's me. I'm here. And that's the words of comfort that he speaks to us in our darkness, in our trials, in our storms. He comes to us and he says, don't be afraid. It's me. I'm here. And he's either going to be in the boat with you as it goes down, or you're going to immediately be on the other side. But either way, you're with your Lord, and you know everything's going to be fine. That's good news for you. We got 2 more of these miracles to look at, Miracle 6 and 7. Hope you stick around for the whole series. God's peace to you.